All right, everybody, I'm back. It's the Historical Gamer once again, and this is part 4 of my Rule the Waves Succession live stream. We are now at war with Italy. It is November of 1901, and we are on the verge of a large fleet action. Now, Intel says we have up to 9 battleships, 4 heavy cruisers, 6 light cruisers, and 29 destroyers, and the enemy has 6 battleships, 4 heavy cruisers, and 14 light cruisers, and 30 destroyers. But one thing we need to always remember with this game is these estimates are horribly wrong almost all the time. Not always in the case of a fleet engagement. They seem to be a little bit more accurate there. But in general, the intel that the game provides you in these do you want to accept the battle screens is horribly wrong. The one thing I wish it would have is it should always tell you exactly what you have. You should know what ships you have that are going to go into battle. What the enemy has, I'm fine with there being a fog of war, but why the hell is there a fog of war on your own ships? Anyway, guys, we're going to accept the battle. If we declined it, we'd take a 130 victory point hit in the very first turn of the war, and I don't want to do that, although it's worth mentioning if we do lose the battle, we could lose like 1,000 or 2,000 prestige. So we'll just have to hope we don't lose. Unknown ship sighted. I wish I could overlay the sound effect from Silent Hunter 3, the whole ship sighted sound effect when you go in there. That would work. Okay, so this does appear to be a rather large fleet engagement. It looks like we've got a scouting force up ahead of us, and they've detected an enemy ship. It's almost like our battle cruiser flotilla. There's 3 heavy cruisers up front, which are under AI control. That's what these triangular flags mean, and they've got looks like 5 or 6 destroyers with them. And then to the rear, almost like Jutland again, we've kind of got some screening light cruisers, and then we've got some screening destroyers and our main battle line. So you can see here, if we go to our order of battle over here on the left, and I hope you guys, the screen looks okay. On my recording, it looks a little bit funky. But as long as it's good for you guys, that's what matters. So you can see here a large portion of the French Navy. We've got the battleship Soffrino in the lead, with Brennus just behind it. The newly commissioned Brennus, I might add. It's just 2 or 3 months off the stocks and into shape, so it may not have the best crew. That's worth keeping in mind. It's kind of like the Prince of Wales when it fought the Bismarck with a brand new ship that wasn't even fully operational yet. Then you've got the Magenta, followed by the Redoutable, the Colbert, the Corbett, the Merengino, and again I'm butchering pronunciations, the Freiland, and the Ocean. So we have 3, 6, 9 battleships here, I think, if my math's serving me right, all coming into contact. The Italian fleet is a maximum of 7, but Intel says 6 are here, and we've spotted 1 enemy ship up ahead, of which our ships are currently under AI control. You can see here it's local time of 25 or 4:13 actually, or is it 25:04:13? Either way, it's night. It's night, so it's got to be 4 a.m. So early morning hours, folks. It's not yet morning. The sun has not yet risen, and we don't really know what we're sailing into. So we'll see. I think the Soffrino is my ship. I believe the Battle Division 1 is always the division that you command as a admiral. So what I generally do, and you guys may not like this, but what I generally do is I turn all the other ships over to AI control. That's typically what I do. I'm not terribly skilled at commanding these fleets myself, so I'll command my ship as a fleet admiral historically would, but I'm not going to micromanage my other ships. I'm going to kind of give them general orders. They're going to hopefully, follow me and follow those generalized orders. And then generally I lead the way because I'm in the fleet, I'm the fleet commander, and their orders are to follow me. And then, that already is AI command. And then we'll see what happens here. But that means that often my ship gets pounded and the AI stays behind. So I guess we'll see what happens here. Maybe we'll adjust it mid-battle. We'll see. Okay. So I'm just going through these ships, folks, and bear with me if you would. Some of these ships are already AI controlled. And I kind of am leaving the orders for them to more or less just support the ships they're already tasked to support. You can let me know if you think that's a bad idea, but that's what I think I'm going to do. We'll make the first division. Do we want to make it independent or core? My gut says we make it our core unit. but I'm open to suggestions here. There is a core battle division down here, right? So that's core, the magenta. Yeah, it looks like all the battle divisions are core. So I suppose that's fine. Rather than making us independent, we can be the core. And we'll continue sailing in this general direction. We'll control our group. We'll increase speed to 18 knots, just shy of maximum speed. And we'll continue in this general direction and see what our AI fleet uncovers. I'm not anticipating a massive torpedo attack in the night, if only because we're moving, unlike the Japanese at Port Arthur. The Russians at Port Arthur were all tied up at dock while the Japanese swooped in and they were sitting targets. Much easier to hit with torpedoes than in our scenario where we're moving at 18 knots. We'll move at normal speed. We'll go ahead and we'll unpause, and I think we'll advance 5 minutes just to see what happens. We'll kind of zoom in here because it looks like where the enemy is. Warning, French Cruiser Division 4 is more than one core division following. Okay. Wait, why is it still going? Is 5 minutes expired yet? Okay. So that was crazy. Our ships sailed in at breakneck speeds and basically collided. Not literally, but I mean, it's kind of like an arrow slamming into a wall. You can see our cruisers are turning and firing. The enemy ships are firing. I don't know if this is their scouting force. It looks like there's some destroyers and light cruisers here, or heavy cruisers. But our fleet is not executing any sort of tactical discipline. Our 3 heavy cruisers are out in the van. No destroyer screen. The AI is not doing a good job of protecting our scouting force. I think we'll slow it down to slower so we can kind of see what happens, and we'll go ahead and just run it with the ability to pause as we kind of observe this fight unfolding. Our fleet is sailing in that direction. It does look like the enemy has some unidentified ships on our flank, so that's something we may need to be aware of. You can see here some of our ships are taking hits. On the left side of the screen, you can see different updates as they pop up. So it looks like our scouting division is actually in contact with the enemy battle fleet. But I don't have the ability to issue orders. We don't have wireless on these ships yet. Looks like they're suffering some damage. But that's about all I know at this point in time. So I'm hoping, maybe my destroyers can swoop in and get some torpedo shots on these guys, or at least pull back. Our objective is to sink 2 enemy ships, any 2 enemy ships. And I guess we'll see here. It looks like the enemy also has some cruisers that are to our battle line's flank. I'm not terribly comfortable with that. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and issue orders. I'm going to turn these guys over to myself. And I'm going to order them actually to screen the battle division. Hopefully that will allow them to... and maybe I'll turn them back over to the AI, but their orders are going to be to screen our battle fleet. Again, they're ways off, so I'm not too worried about torpedoes, but I'd rather screen than scout when we've kind of already identified the enemy fleet. You can see these destroyers may be going in for a torpedo attack, but it does look like there's some enemy battleships. There's quite a bit of fog of war as well. It's night. Sometimes battleships or cruisers get misidentified, destroyers as well. I've had battles where you think you're against 5 battleships, and then you look and you realize, it's like 3 light cruisers. Okay, so our cruisers are screening. It looks like they put 2 off on the left and 1 off on the right, so they're much closer in with our main battle line. As we advance, you can see our battleships are advancing in line with our destroyers trailing in the rear. I'm not sure I like that. You can see the Brooks is getting hit by quite a bit. These dark indentations mean that damage is occurring. And our fleet is sailing in, allowing its T to be crossed, but I don't see anything worth turning this entire battle line. We'll lose all forward momentum if we order our battle line to shift, and I don't see any large warships that we're currently engaged with. It does look like a destroyer screen, but we've got some of our own out front as well. So we'll continue sailing in this general direction until we've got a reason to turn our fleet. So destroyer division in the rear must have been under my manual control, shifts to AI control. That's one of the things. I'm playing in rear admiral mode, which means basically you can issue orders to ships you can see, but you can't issue orders to ships you cannot see. So again, the enemy fleet has seemingly disappeared into the dark. I'm hoping daylight comes up soon. Looks like it's 5 a.m. local time. I don't understand that 20. I guess you guys could tell me. But daylight would probably turn this into a real knife fight here. You can see we've identified an unknown ship. Whoa, our battle line is we're crossing the... oh, shit, these are cruisers. They probably have torpedoes. Quick, turn. Oh, boy. I think I just sailed my battle fleet between enemy cruisers and destroyers, so hopefully they don't torpedo me. All right, turn back. I didn't want the whole battle line to turn. I would hope they would turn in sequence, but it doesn't look like they did that. Anyway, so this is a near miss with torpedoes. Enemy battleship here, maybe? This is a night... this is crazy. I should have specialized in night fighting. I did not. My 2 battleships are way far in front of everything else. Boy. I should have just kept sailing straight, and we might have crossed their T as they're coming in behind me. Ships are shooting, but I don't see a lot of damage occurring. The head of my column is cut off. The AI ships behind are scrambling around in disorder. This is not the kind of fight I wanted. Maybe our destroyers can get in and launch a torpedo attack. I think they're out of visual range. Yeah, they're out of visual range. I could really use the sun so I could better coordinate this. If the sun would come up, I could coordinate these forces, order my destroyers in to do stuff, but they're just too far away in the dark. Galilee T-turret hit. Destroyer Ramirez. Reports, objectives, still nothing. Again, there's these reports happening along the side, but in a big engagement like this, it's really hard to follow what's happening. There's just too much that pops up too quickly, even on slower speed. So now our battleships are swooping back south, or at least their flagships, about to potentially... okay, so our destroyer Rapier is sinking, so that's not good. Okay. And my 2 battleships loyally following them up here. The rest of my ships are just like swirling around in circles as my my flagship and my immediate follower hopefully do some damage to these bad guys. I haven't sunk anything to my knowledge. Another destroyer sinking, so that's not good. All right. I don't really care about destroyers. I just don't want to lose the battle, and it feels like we are losing. Although it's hard to tell. It doesn't give you a notice when the enemy sinks either. God damn it. Why are you guys sailing, like, not moving? Okay, so the first destroyer sunk. I can't issue orders to any of these guys. We're just, like, sitting back. Like, holy crap, we saw enemy ships. We better not do anything. Let's just stay back here. Let the Admiral do it all. He's fine. Don't worry about him. He's good. Like, seriously, why aren't these guys charging forward with me? All my battleships are freaking miles away, sailing away. God damn it. Next time I won't leave it up to the AI. I'm just going to keep sailing around here. Hopefully my other ships will rally on me as I try and engage the enemy. If we take a look at our ships, how's our division doing? Let's click at the Sulfrino. Status. Has some flotation damage. Not a ton, but certainly it's taken 3 heavy hits. Rapier sunk. Fired 37 rounds with only 3 hits. I guess an 8% hit percentage isn't terrible. What about the Brennus? It suffered some additional flotation damage, some medium hits, some heavy hits. No torpedo damage yet. It's also only hit 1 score of hits, so not a ton of heavy caliber damage being done by my ships here. If we take a look at our enemy ship, yes, we hit an enemy battleship with a torpedo. There we go, folks. That's what we want to see. Okay. Hopefully we can finish that battleship off. Pre-dreadnought battleships were notoriously vulnerable to torpedo attack. So I don't know if it was this battleship or what ship it was, but it does say an enemy battleship was hit by a torpedo. Here's our 2 sunk destroyers back here. I don't see anything sunk for the enemy. I'm guessing this is the battleship that was hit, and it's kind of pulling out a line. So that's nice that we hit it. Seems like they're kind of pulling out. But again, the rest of my fleet really could come up north and join me. Really could enjoy the benefit of the sun setting. Although maybe not with me being as isolated as I am. Yeah. Okay. So enemy ships are still out here. You know, here's the thing. Like, uh-oh. Don't collide, guys. Here's the thing. It's the middle of the night. Oh, no. That cruiser just cut in front of my battleship. Good lord, I thought he was going to crash into him. You can ram, by the way. My 2 battleships are out here fighting the valiant fight by themselves. Oh, boy. They're getting way too close. Although they did cross the rear T of that enemy battleship. Holy crap. I'm going to get my 2 lead battleships sunk. Oh, Magenta came up. Okay. The Leonardo da Vinci enemy battleship right there. How's Sofrino doing now? I feel like it's got to be badly damaged. It's about the same. So it looks like some more of our ships are coming up to engage the enemy. This is just a knife fight. This is insane. Imagine if the sun does come up when this fight's still going on. This is going to be insane. Everyone's going to be just hitting at every single shot, which should give us the theoretical advantage because we've got a larger fleet. But destroyers are about even, and at this range, good lord, if they let off accurate, torpedo attacks, we'd be in some serious shit. Oh no! Sofrino hit by a torpedo. Sofrino. Flagship hit by torpedo. That's not good. 3 stars. Ooh, she's going to sink for sure. I shouldn't have been so close into these destroyers. God damn it. We're going to lose this battle. Hopefully we don't lose control of the Med. Unless that enemy battleship sinks, but I don't think it's going to, and you can see these little black dots here going across the screen. Those are torpedoes sailing across the seas. You'd think we'd have a few more hits. Okay. So we lost sight of a lot of our targets. Felt like the majority of our fleet. Okay, sun's coming up. It's not really... Okay, so we've got more enemy ships are in sight now. Holy crap, half their fleet's to the west, half's to the east, and we're in the middle in no line of battle or anything. Well, okay. Fortunately, we at least disengaged somewhat where we're not literally in the middle of the enemy fleet as the sun came up. That could have been bad. I think I'm going to try and disengage at this point. We lost 2 destroyers. Torpedo hit on our flagship. I don't think it's going to survive. It does say we're limiting flooding, so... But if we stay in the fight, we're certainly not going to survive. Flotation steadily going up. This ship's going to sink. We're going to lose 34,000 points, whatever that point value really means. Do you want to detach destroyer able to pick up survivors? Yes. I don't think I've sunk any enemy ships that we're aware of. Our objective was to sink at least 2. And it looks like the enemy may be sailing away. Okay. Let's try and speed things up a bit and see what happens. We'll see if the enemy presses anything. We lost another destroyer. Man, the Italians' gunfire seems to be more accurate than our own. Does look like our own ships are kind of pursuing the enemy. Flooding damage is at least staying pretty even on my flagship. The enemy's definitely disorganized. I could pursue. See, this is the problem with doing it as a manual command. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and these battleships just seem to kind of do whatever the hell they want to do. I don't know if I've sunk enemy ships yet. Hard to tell. We're kind of sailing obliquely. The enemy looks like they may be retreating toward Trapinina, perhaps. So I guess we'll chase him that direction. Since, if they were winning, you'd think they'd want to keep fighting. But usually it gives you a successful objective complete thing. You'd get some sort of notification if you hit that 2-ship goal. Maybe I bloodied them a bit, hopefully. Yeah, it almost seems like kind of what the Germans were trying... Whoa, they're turning... No. It almost seems like what the Germans were trying to do at Jutland. Bloody the... Another destroyer sinking. Okay. Man, our destroyer fleet got hit hard. I would be okay with that if they had done something with their torpedoes. Another destroyer sinking? Really? Are our destroyers still fighting somewhere and I just can't see it? Man, this definitely feels like a pretty big French victory. Nothing's sunk yet for us. Our battleship may indeed still sink. Don't sail into the mines. Okay, so I don't see any Italian ships there. Huh. This appears to be a defeat, folks. Not the start to the war we had hoped. There do appear to be some enemy ships down here that maybe they ran in toward the coast and weren't able to get to a port. Maybe we can scoop some of them up. Surprised my ship isn't sunk yet. Where is its damage at? Oops. Hey, look. Enemy ships. Light cruisers, even. Let's see if we can maybe destroy some of them. If we could get a few light cruisers, that might change the value of what happened here. Assuming we don't get hit by torpedoes in exchange. Okay. They got by us. I'm going to send these destroyers in. No, go into the mines. Go into the mines! Jerks. Won't go into the mines. La Spezia class light cruisers. All right. Huh. They must be heading into the port then. I wonder if they can really disengage into the port while they're under fire. That seems a little bit flawed. I mean, they'd still be in sight here. I'd pursue faster with my battleship, but remember, it's in horrible shape, and I'm just trying not to sink it, and I would worry if I were to speed things up that it would succumb to its damage. Kind of wondering why the... okay. Italian minor victory. Okay, we didn't sink 2 enemy ships. It does look like we sank 1 enemy destroyer with 1 badly damaged. Medium damage on a destroyer and a battleship. I'm assuming that's the battleship that took the torpedo. Light damage on 2 of their battleships. 2 heavy cruisers, 4 light cruisers, 3 destroyers. We lost 5 destroyers sunk, 4 heavily damaged. So our destroyer flotilla was ravaged. But outside of that, heavy damage to 1 battleship, which took a torpedo. That was my flagship. Medium damage to 1 other. We still maintain control of the Mediterranean from a firepower standpoint. But the enemy definitely won that battle. They won a minor victory there. If we go ahead and we leave the scenario, we'll see that they gained 1,300 victory points to our 750. I would have been better off just declining the battle. But it was only a minor defeat according to whatever all-knowing beings there were. And that's how the war starts. So let's see here. The enemy has 6 battleships. We've got 14 still. We do need to repair some of our ships, which I assume will take some time. I don't see any indication. Okay, I'm assuming these numbers indicate how long the ship will be out for repairs. So Sofrino's going to be 2 months. That's fine. I'm assuming because we're now at war with Italy, we can probably assume that England... Our Prime Minister is less concerned with the North Sea, so we're going to move those 3 battleships into the Mediterranean. They're crappy battleships, but they're battleships nonetheless. That'll leave us with 2 battleships in Northern Europe. Actually, let's move one of the other... I want to move both Charles Martels. Those are better ships. And we'll leave one of the oceans. I don't want to move anywhere. Can I cancel that order? Okay. Didn't let me do it. Whatever. Okay, so we now have to choose 10 patrol ships. I think I'll probably do destroyers in Northern Europe. Move to patrol. Okay. Okay, so those 10 ships are going to be on coastal patrol. We actually have quite a healthy budget now. What about our cruisers? Our cruisers and foreign stations are going to all put on commerce rating. Okay. So we have a few ships rating commerce. Not a ton in the Med, actually. Let's actually make these 2 heavy cruisers commerce raiders. So 2 heavy cruisers into the Mediterranean as raiders as well. So that's the scenario. We've got some commerce raiders set up. We've also got $4 million in cash. So what I'm actually going to do is we have designed coastal submarines. I'm going to go ahead and build a few. They'll take 14 months to build, so I'm going to build 10 of them at 1.4, maybe more. Let's build, well, we can only build 10 at a time. So we're going to build 10 coastal submarines under construction, and actually we're going to build another 10. So if the war does drag on, my goal is when those submarines do arrive, we're going to use them to end the war, more or less. 20 subs in the Med against the Italians at this stage in the game. Hopefully they don't really have much in the way of anti-submarine warfare. So once all these are done, then we can go ahead and reap the benefits. Meanwhile, I think we're also going to build some AMCs. So let's go ahead and design a ship, a armed merchant cruiser class. We'll go ahead and auto-design it because I don't know what the hell I'm doing there. And I don't know if they can be used for raiding or not. I'd like to make them fast. 26 knots, can we do that? Can't have a speed above 21 knots. Okay, I'm fine with 21 knots. Then let's increase the caliber of their guns, since we've got a whole ton of weight available, because these are pretty large. Well, 5,000 tons, but they have no armor. That's what it is. So we'll actually keep them at 7-inch main guns. We'll have 5-inch secondaries, and we'll have And not really turrets, but single mounts. Can we do that? Illegal ship configuration? Doesn't really say what, so I'm guessing the secondaries. Guessing we can't have secondaries. That's probably it. No, apparently maybe it's the main guns. They can't be too big. Yep, okay. Fine, I guess we're just going to have a lot of weight available. We can increase the number of mines, maybe. I don't really know what mines do for AMCs, honestly. But these things are basically going to be mine layer cruisers. We'll make them extremely long ranged. I mean, I'm making them more expensive, I realize that, but okay. So let's go to the build dialog with our AMC, 5,000 tons. Holy crap, 2.4 million? But it only takes 4 months to build. Yikes. I guess that's what you get when you soup them the hell up. Oh well, we're going to have 2 kick-ass commerce raiders once the time comes. Alright, and that'll just about do it for episode 4 of my Rule the Waves Let's Play. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and tune in next time for episode 5 as we go further into the war. We suffered a minor setback at the start of the war. Hopefully we can turn things around. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm out.